can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Yep. You was right, though.
What?
About what you text me about making better decisions.
Yeah, because, to be honest, man, like, you're good for everything, but when it comes to, like, the women in the past 11 years, man, you have definitely not been good when it comes to them. That's just being honest with you.
No, you right.
I don't know,
never.
why is that or whatever? Because you're great at everything else, but what is it about you and women, like, that you just don't choose them right or whatever? I mean, I'm asking you because I don't know that you know, and I'm not around you. I can't just tell other than what you tell me.
I just think that it has everything to do with from my thoughts about it. It's not only having bad examples around me, but put it like this. There was this Hispanic young man that I used to work with at the Win, and he was seeing this other Hispanic girl at the job, and he had gotten to the point to where he just wasn't interested in her no more, so he just walked away from her, and she was devastated. Me and her was working the showroom one day, and I knew something was wrong with her because she was real quiet. And so I pulled it out of her, and I asked her, I don't recall his name right now. I mean, I know his name. It's just that walk today kind of it exhausted me. So my memory is not real sharp right now. But she said that they had broke up and everything. So, and she took it real bad. And she comes from a broken family.
Mm-hmm.
When I had questioned him about it, he said, "Hey man, I just felt like I just wasn't interested in no more. She just wasn't for me, so I just moved on." And he got him another woman and just moved on. He said he felt like he didn't need it, and he just moved on. And as me and him was working together, all of a sudden something hit me, and I asked him, I said, "You got both parents at home, don't you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You real close to your parents?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'm real close to both of them." I said, "So you're not lacking love in any areas or anything like that?" He said, "No." I said, that makes it easier for you to walk away from relationships. I said, because you're not lacking anything in that particular area, when it comes to love and attention and things as such. I said, because you've always had that in your life, and so once you get involved with someone outside of that, of course, is on another level. But your foundation, when it comes to having love fulfilled, it's fulfilled, and that makes you more intellectual and less emotional. Yeah, I'm getting to something. And he had agreed. Now, her situation was otherwise, and so when it comes to wanting to be loved, and when you want to be loved, it's easy for you to give love out sometimes, or that might not be love. It could be a sense of needing or wanting to love, or wanting someone to love you. Because believe me, Josh, I've been sitting up thinking about this all day. Because I recall you and Angel. Because I don't really talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I remember both of you guys asking me, don't you think you should go out there and visit first? Before you give up everything and just go out there. What if it don't work out? And I recall telling you guys I ain't worried about that. We talked for a long time, and I'm very sure. I've never been so sure of anything in my whole life. You can't be that sure of anything in your whole life that you haven't really faced yet. You have to check things out.
You're right.
And so when I was thinking about that today, I'm like, I thought about what Kim had told me, that young lady I used to take walks with. I think I told you one day me and her was walking in the park out there in Las Vegas, and she said, what it is about you. She said, you're full of love. She said, but you're lacking love from other people. And she said, and that's sad.
Right.
She said, you're lacking love, and that's very sad. And so when you're lacking love, you don't know what it's like for other people to love you. And in a sense, it's easy for you to get caught up in the wrong type of situation because you're lacking love, and yet though you're full of love, and therefore you want to love so much, and then this woman is Ethiopian, and how you experience all these black women, and you come to find out. Now, I will say this. Sandra put me through a lot of shit, but I had to catch Sandra.
Right.
This motherfucker do it right in your face. She'll destroy a relationship, and she'll put you in the friend zone and put you in a certain position and do whatever the hell she want to do. And she will walk around here knowing that you are gutted with pain because your emotions are still involved. And your emotions is still involved. And when you ask her, can I talk to you for a minute? She'll say, no, you can't talk to me. What is there to talk about? And yet and still, she shows a little care here and there. And when you are in my type of position internally, you start thinking that, well, maybe there's a chance that this will work out because she's showing me a little care, and then you perceive that, well, she's not really in touch with her feelings, or neither that she's trying to fight her feelings, because you do these researches on Scorpios, and you deal with how women try to hide their feelings and all of that. You go through all of these thoughts in your head, and so for a little while, some of the pain goes away because there's some hope there, and then you start feeling better, and then you find out while you're feeling better, that better feeling is actually you putting yourself in a more vulnerable position, because this person means what they say. They don't care. And so when they show you a little care, like today, when she texted me and I I wasn't able to see the text because my phone had shut itself down, that she was on her way to pick me up from the park. But like I said, she didn't see me and I didn't see her. But when she got here, I was getting out of the shower, and you would think that this person had cared enough about me to just go and just jump in her car and come get me, because I was so far away. I mean, I was far, Josh. I was far away, walking in that sun, and telling her that, my hands are swollen up and I'm exhausted and I need to jump in the shower and rest for a little bit. You thought she cared about that?
No. She stole it.
Yeah. She didn't care about that. As soon as she got here, she said, "I'm moving you into the room downstairs." And she started grabbing my stuff, and I had to take my computer apart. We had to bring this table downstairs, and I'm exhausted. And I'm like, damn, bitch, I just walked damn near 15 to 17 miles in this hot sun. But she was determined. She said, well, this is my room, and I want my room back. That's soulless and humiliating and hurtful. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? And then, up on top of that, she puts on this real tight white hoochie looking dress. And we talked for a minute about this room, because she was trying to rent this room out. She said she had somebody to come in and look at this room. And so, but see, this is where she was putting me. And I said to myself, well, where am I gonna go as soon as this person come and look at the room? So my thought said, you know what? Rent this room from her, because if this person comes and they're gonna want to rent the room, where are you gonna go? You can't go to your aunt, because your aunt don't give a fuck. So I said, aren't you supposed to have somebody to come to look at this room? And she said, yeah. She said, but while you're in there, just keep it clean until I can get somebody in that room. I said, well, let's just do this. I said, I'll rent it. I'll rent it from you. She said, you will? I'm like, yeah. I'll just go ahead and rent it. She said, well, okay. And then I told her, I said, this is most likely the way we should have did it from the jump street. Maybe I should have been in this room first, for a little while, and then you're upstairs. But see, when I was in Las Vegas, I think I told you this too. I asked her, I said, well, where am I going to sleep when I first get there? She said, you going to sleep with me? She said, she said, I'm buying this queen size bed for both of us. I mean, she bought a whole entire bedroom set for both of us. And then when I get here, of course, I'm a stranger physically, and so I told her I was going to make it easy for you. I said, I'm not one of these horny toad type dudes. I'm actually I can lay next to you and not try to touch nothing or anything like that. I was being a gentleman about it, and it's just a trip the way things turned out, and it's a trip. That's all I can say about it. And I should have, regardless of what I should have did, should have. It doesn't matter, because I'm out here now, and I'm in the middle of this, And it's like she said, yeah, we should have did it this way at first. She said, well, just start here and just see what happens. We can just go from here. She told me that today. But where are you right now? See, it's this back and forth stuff. The psychological games. Now this little Saab that she's driving. When it was raining earlier, she had to take a bunch of plastic outside and put it over the car to keep the car from getting wet on the inside, because it's a convertible and it's got some holes in it. Where it rains, it can drip in the car.
Right.
So it was raining tonight for a long time, off and on. So maybe she's over her sister's house, or she's over one of her male friends' house, because it was raining, because she can't drive in the rain. But all at the same time, you have to negate that kind of thinking. And it's not that you can't, you have to think the worst. I'm finding out tonight you can't think at all. You got to totally let it go. If she's over one of her male friend's house, either she's fucking him or not. You can't care about that. If she's over to one of her if she's over to her sister's house, laying up in her sister's house, you can't even worry about that, because she don't give a shit how you feeling. Because look, even if she's over to her sister's house, if she cared about, well, I know me and him ain't together right now, but I know he's probably wondering where I'm at, so I'm gonna call him and let him know I'm just over here to Mulu's house. She didn't even do that. And so tonight, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, whether her sister's house or whether she over some nigga's house laying up with him, I can't be concerned about that.
Right.
But all at the same time, my feelings are still involved. I can't help but to be concerned about it. So what do I do about this?
Yeah, because you are human. You can't negate that.
Right. And that's the whole thing about the way people treat you. The one thing that they negate is that you are a human being and you got feelings. They don't give a shit about that. And that's how you find out that you're not really dealing with a human being. You are dealing with people who are soulless. And when they are like that, karma is building up for them. But I've even gotten to the point to where the whole concept of karma, when you hurt real bad, for some reason, karma becomes a little bit more difficult to believe. Because when somebody hurt me physically, I usually retaliate immediately.
Yeah.
But when it's not physical, it hurts even more, because you want to see some form of retaliation immediately. But karma doesn't work like that. Karma doesn't step in like that. And so, due to the fact that it doesn't step in like that, you have to learn how to let go. But like I say, you're caught with this, you're trapped inside of this flesh. You remember when I told you that when the Creator started bringing me back, I told the Creator, no, I don't want to go back.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
And what I meant by that is I didn't want to be reunited with the flesh so that I would have to feel love and fear for my sons, heartbreak and sorrow, because that's what this flesh carries in it. It carries all of those things. And then you live long enough to find out that love, this whole thing, love, that's just as painful as anything else. Love is pain. You know, because in the movie The Final Conflict, when Damien was sleeping with this journalist woman, he started being real rough with her. And she said, Damien, you're hurting me. She said, this is painful. He said, death is pain, love is pain. He said, everything is pain. And when I first heard that, I didn't get it. But since my accident, and then when this happened, I'm like, now I understand exactly what he meant when he said everything is pain, because everything is pain. Now, most people may say, well, I doubt that, and they only doubt it considering where that information was coming from. Well, it was coming from him. Well, it's true. I mean, if you live long enough, and just because it comes from him doesn't mean that it's not true. And that's probably one of the primary grudges that he has against the Creator. Why would you put us in something like this flesh to feel pain and sorrow? What is it that we have to learn? Why do we have to suffer?
Right.
And then they say, well, the common Christian, the common religious, every single religion and religious person and unreligious person, everybody has this one primary understanding, is that in order to get where you're supposed to be, wherever the hell that is, you have to suffer.
Yeah, it's all that whole, there can be no struggle with progress. I mean, there can be no progress with struggle, no pain, no gain mentality.
Yeah.
And that seems like here on planet Earth, man, like you saying, seems like that's a thing like this. From what I'm getting, it seems like that's on the way to really get anywhere. It seems like that's the world that we've been thrown down into.
Yeah.
A struggle, world of struggle.
Mm-hmm. And then,
I guess that's why we call this planet a prison planet. In a way, it's like a prison of struggle and always fighting for what you want.
Mm-hmm. And then you ask the Creator, okay, what is it that I am supposed to get? That profound get. What am I supposed to get out of all of this? How long am I supposed to suffer until I actually get it? And what is the get it? What is that shit? What is it? It's a never-ending suffering. It's like you're trapped inside of a dual compartment that is just a whole bunch of back and forth struggle, and it seems like the whole thing is a fucking game, and you're trapped inside of this whole movement of manipulation, because you have all of these dual things, and you going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Love, hate. Oh, she hates me. Oh, she loves me. And so, love and hope, and you get all excited, and then here comes hate, which is the dual compartment. But if love is love because of hate being a dual compartment, then fuck love then. Fuck it. Why can't you create something that is good without a dual compartment to where it just remains good.
Right.
But there's nothing created that is all good. And that's my gripe with the Creator. And that's why I tell everybody, just like I told my aunt, the Creator ain't all good. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because it tells you right there in your book that thing created evil also. It created evil as a dual compartment to good. So as far as I'm concerned, ain't neither one of them worth a damn. Good and evil is bullshit. So where do you go? There's nowhere to go. Like you say, we're thrown down here on this planet to deal with all of this. And you know, it's just like what she told me today when she was driving me to my job, which was all the way across town. This is just not going to work. This living situation not where you're going to have to just go stay with your aunt. You know, you're going to have to call your aunt and go stay with your aunt. Now, see, if I had that type of family, I'd have said okay. And see, and my aunt had offered that. She said, but my daughters are there right now. She said, because I would take you over here with me, you know. She said, but my daughters are there. And I said to myself, but aren't your daughters supposed to be my fucking cousins? What's the problem? You know? And then as we kept talking about a whole lot of other things, we get into those conversations that I sent you. And so she's got this thing with me now, like he's got an attitude. That's just like the moment I found out. I don't know if you listened to all of those conversations yet, but the moment I found out that she was seeing somebody when I was laying up in a hospital.
Right.
I'm on the phone with my aunt, and the chair that I usually sit in, I picked it up and I threw it. And you can hear it in the conversation. And what did my aunt tell me? David, you can't let this bother you. You can't let it bother you. And I told her, I said, what? I said, I'm a human being. You know, it's like I'm surrounded by people who swear up and down that they are human beings that are above the fact of being human. So you mean to tell me the way that I'm responding to this is abnormal? I mean, this is a trip, you know? And so when you're dealing with self-righteous people like that, you end up having nowhere to go, and you end up being subject to this type of living. There is no way in the world, no way, even if you and I were blood relatives, and I didn't know you too well because of the family, and say if you were my nephew and you was in this situation, and if you told me I need to get out of here, that's not somebody on the other end of that phone that's not a family member. That's your brother's son suffering. So shouldn't that be enough?
You're right.
I would have picked up the phone and said, Josh, what I need you to do, I need you to listen to me. I would have told you what I need for you to do. Number one, calm down. And I know you're not going to be able to do that too well right now. But what I need you to do is go upstairs and get your stuff. I'm on my way to get you out of that situation. That's what family is supposed to be about. Family is supposed to be a refuge. And see, this is another reason why I have a hatred for my parents. That she said, as long as you hate your mother, then you ain't never going to be able to be with a woman. I said, I wasn't born into the world with this hatred for my mother. Hatred grows. Hatred is something that grows.
Yeah, it's faster.
I said, so don't talk to me like I come out the womb hating my mother. I said, because it wasn't like that. I said, my mother and my parents forced me to hate them by the way that they treated me. And simply because I'm a 55-year-old man don't mean that I'm too grown to be talking about this. But there is no way in the world that I would let you suffer this. And I would tell you, you know what? I know we just met and all of that, but hey, you need to get out that situation because that's not a good situation to be in. And I would tell you, look, when we get to the house, I got an extra bedroom. I'm going to introduce you to my kids. I know you don't know them and they don't know you, but the whole thing is you family, and we supposed to be a refuge for one another. But with my family, when Graham passed, there was no refuge. There was no place I can go. That's why I ended up in Job Corps. And my first night in Job Corps in Edinburgh, Indiana, I woke up in the middle of the night. It had to be about 4 in the morning. And I looked outside the window and I looked at this security gate. And I started crying to myself, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing in here? What the fuck did I do to end up in Job Corps? I got a whole goddamn family, and there's no place I can go. I had to suffer Job Corps. Now, I met some of the best people in my life in Job Corps, but the whole thing is, why is it that I had to end up in Job Corps? In spite of how you and your dad don't get along and the way he is, but just like I told you, he ain't putting you out.
No. Yeah, trust me. Don't think when you be saying that's not love for me. I reflect on that quite often. I'm like, man, listen to you. I'm like, man, made me more, even though I have my frustrations with him, I'm like, man, listen to how you and yours was or still is, bro. I'm like, man, your pops makes mine look like an angel. I'm like, man, it ain't nowhere near as bad as with you, because I'm like, dang, it's tragic. Whereas, even other than he got a lot of issues too now. You can frustrate him, but I can manage that. But you, man, I'm like, dang, man, I'm surprised you ain't worse than you are. You should be on drugs, Dave, and stuff you've been through.
Yeah. And
even though, like me, I never doubted that he loved me. I guess it was all for me. It was always a matter of he didn't know how to love me fully the right way, the way I needed to be loved. But I never doubted that. I would say he probably loves me more than most fathers do, or whatever. But it's like, even that is not enough, if you get what I'm saying. You do understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because I always felt like his love frustrated me, and it's very forceful and manipulative. And that's what always made me angry and very sad or whatever. But even then, when I compare and contrast to the other guys I know who do have fathers or whatever, like they really don't compare like to mine as well. So like I had to remind myself whenever I get too down on them, I'm like, man, even though you have your issues, it ain't yours. Even though it ain't always perfect, yours is better than theirs. I don't know any brother that can say they still, at 30 years old, not only at home with their parents, but still got a real great relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
I know almost everything about them. I know their social security numbers. They go, whenever they ask me for something, I know it. It's always been that type of relationship. Even when I was a kid, I knew a lot, way more about my parents than most children knew, because I was always around them and raised. So I'm like, man, the fact that your parents do trust you to know that information and they don't never flinch or trip, I'm like, man, that speaks a lot. In spite of your dissatisfaction on certain things, so I'm like, I am very close with them in spite of certain disappointment.
Yeah. You have a place where you can call home. Therefore, you have a refuge. You have a refuge. And people trip out like her when she hears me talk. I know she be thinking to herself, nigga, you 55 years old. Why are you worried about having a place of refuge? Because everybody is supposed to have a place of refuge. It doesn't matter how old a person is. When you have two parents who are unproductive, the children are going to suffer. They're going to suffer. There should have been a lot of times when I was struggling in Las Vegas, when I was dealing with Tammy's bullshit, when I was dealing with Sandra's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how old I am. If my mother would have did right with her money, and if my father would have did what he was supposed to have done, I could have been on the phone and told either one of them, hey, I need to get out of here for a little while. I just want to come home and just chill. Come on. You know where your room is? You want to get out of Las Vegas for a few months? Do it. But you can't do that. You're stuck. And you're stuck in a system, an economic system that is unjust towards you. Slow seasons and all of these things. And what you said earlier, I'm surprised that you're not on drugs or something like that. What you think Sonny is about?
Yeah, Sonny is that story. I guess maybe what you would have been like, or in another life in a way.
You remember when I told you that Sonny is about a man who's lost control?
Yeah.
And Daniel in Dawn of Redemption, that's me too. Walking around with a bunch of rage, this rage sitting up in you, and you end up just taking it out on the whole world, and you don't have a particular group of people that you want to slaughter. You just want to slaughter people. When you have those type of feelings in you and you negate them, negate, having a father that's a preacher, having a father that's a priest, that's me. Daniel is me had I lost control. Sonny is me had I lost control. Considering everything that I've been through in my life, I still refuse to drink. I still refuse to get on drugs. I still refuse a life of self-destruction. And what I'm angry at about the Creator, you would think that I would get some type of leeway because of that, but I still suffer. That's like right now. I'm out here because what I didn't fulfill. I'm out here because of what was not fulfilled inside of me. This is why I'm here. regardless of whether it's a grown man. It doesn't matter how old the person was. If they did not get the right ingredients when they were coming up, there's going to be some things in their older age that they just not gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of other things, but the other things that you didn't get in your childhood and in your teenage years because of my appearance, the broad nose and the fuller lips, stuff like that, because my parents didn't get me any braces, and so my teeth came in a certain way, and it made my nose and around my jaw area looks a little broader.
Right.
Because they paid for braces for my sister, but not me. And then when you say things like that at the age of 55, you a grown man. Why you worried about that? Because it's not you that has to walk around looking like this your whole goddamn life. That's why you walking around here talking about getting nose jobs and all of that, trying to do whatever you can to feel better about yourself. You're trying to do whatever you can to feel better about yourself because it seems like the Creator don't give a shit about allowing something in your life to manifest to where you feel better about yourself. Yeah. But she did tell me that there were a lot of other men that came out here and they wanted to sleep with her, but she said that in order to screw her, they was going to have to marry her.
Yeah, right.
And they didn't want to do that, so they left. And I'm like this, but you out here fucking anyway. You got all of these male friends you can go to and get money from them, and you wear these tight dresses and all. You fucking these niggas. It ain't no, it's just like today she telling me, you don't know. They'll tell you Salam gets, you gets no play with Salam. No, that's because that's what Salam is telling me, and that may be true. They may be up under your spell, just like everybody else is. But I do know one thing. I'll never go through this again. Yeah, man. I just needed to talk for a few minutes.
Oh, okay. So you've been up ever since earlier?
No, I went to sleep and then I woke up so I can go to the restroom, and I noticed it was 3:35. And so I looked outside, and I saw that Mr. Bill and this other woman had made it in. I looked for Salam's car. Nope. And you know what tripped me out? You remember when I told you that it seems like as soon as something in my life ends, it starts to rain?
Yeah.
Do you know when right after I put all of my stuff in this room, when she brought the last thing downstairs for me, we heard this thunder, boom, boom, and it started raining. And I mean, it was raining today. This is how she had to go outside and cover her car up. And I noticed that she put a lot of plastic over her car, you know, so to keep it from getting wet on the inside. Now, it could have rained all day, but the moment that the rain slowed down, that's when she ran out there and she got in that car and she drove off. I'm like, this motherfucker is determined to get somewhere. So it didn't surprise me to wake up in the middle of the night, go to the restroom, and find out that she didn't bring her ass home.
Right.
Now, any other night, if I was upstairs or anything like that, she probably would have came home. But due to the fact that I said I'm gonna rent this room, and all right, I'll go ahead and rent the room. Cause see, I'm trying to stay indoors. She figured, okay, well he's paying me rent now, so I'm gonna get me some money out this nigga one way or the other.
Yeah.
So she feel like, well, we ain't together no more, so I ain't got to come home if I don't want to. Yeah, but like I say, man, it all goes back to what you and Angel said. You know, Dave, you should go out there and check it out first.
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, considering her looking so different than her pictures, I done went back to Las Vegas. I was like, nah. I mean, she got a nice body and everything, but nah. You know, it's beautiful out here. It's green and everything. And you know, when I was out there walking today, I'm like, my life is a trip, because I would have never thought that I would be walking down some country roads, them real tall trees on the side. I said, I would have never thought that I would ever end up walking down some southern streets, real big wooded areas. I have never even imagined myself to do that, but here I am.
Yeah. There you go. There you are.
But I guess I'll be all right.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, man, don't even focus on her or anything. Just focus on Penguin and your books getting out there, and that's what you need to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how you're going to get your freedom, you know. 'Cause of course, even once you do get, you know, Mr. Bill, the other guy, you start making good money or whatever, don't get comfortable with that. What ought to make you get comfortable is once your books start getting out there, you start getting revenue consistently. That's how you're going to get free, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always let that be your end goal, not where you are right now, you know. Otherwise, you'll be depressed.
Yep. Yeah, man, but listen to this conversation a lot. And
you talking about the one we have right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very informative.
And like I say, the only good thing that I was thinking about earlier, when before I called you and even after I called you, I said, well, what the good thing about all of this is that I don't mind suffering this for him, because due to the fact that we are recording these phone calls, it made me feel better about the suffering. I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll suffer. That's why I was determined to talk about it. I need to get on the phone and talk about it so we can get all of this down, so that you'll be able to listen to it over and over again.
Right.
So that you can avoid it, and then if you have any children, you can teach them how to avoid it.
Yeah, you definitely, shoot. These are classroom sessions, our conversation.
Mm-hmm.